Westinghouse, Studio One.
You can be sure if it's Westinghouse. You can be sure.
Whether it's a jet engine or the world's most automatic washer.
You can be sure.
Whether it's a giant generator for one of America's largest dams, the only frost-free refrigerator, or America's finest television set.
You can be sure if it's Westinghouse. For your home, for your business, for your farm or factory. You can be sure if it's Westinghouse. Oh, Westinghouse.
Every night?
You'll see, Ron.
I could wish it were a little less. Hey now, house lights.
I wish they were that way every night.
Where did it come tonight? I don't know. I didn't have a chance to look. Is there a card?
Yes. Major Sergei Zubata. Scars.
Oh, he sounds prehistoric. Get rid of him for me, married, will you? I don't want to see anyone tonight.
Yes.
Mademoiselle Vera Varini?
Please, wait outside. I'm chasing.
Forgive me, but it's most important that I see you alone, mademoiselle.
Oh, kindly leave my room, or I shall have to go.
Sonia, Ilya, Ludmila, Paul.
Oh, married, will you wait outside for one moment, please?
Yes.
Who are you?
Major Sergei Zubato of the Semenov's Guards.
That much I know from your card. How do you happen to know the names of my family?
Oh, it is important to me to know such things, mademoiselle. You are leaving the end of next week for an extended tour of the United States, I believe.
Yes, why?
You will oblige me by presenting your notice on Monday. For I am sure you will find excellent reasons to explain your return to Prague.
I'm to return to Prague after waiting 5 years to escape? You are amusing, Major.
And let me assure you that you will be amply recompensed for the interruption to your career.
By whom?
By the Soviet Union.
That's a rather absurd suggestion, isn't it, Major? I'm a Czech, not a Russian. I've nothing but disgust for everything you represent. I'm scarcely the one for you to select to help you.
Your reaction is superficial, mademoiselle. You have a family still living in Czechoslovakia. A mother, 2 sisters, a brother 11.
Yes?
If you do what I suggest, they will be granted the utmost courtesy. If, on the other hand, you persist in your decision to go to the United States, you will find your family has also been forced to make a rather extended journey. Oh, it's not easy, as you may know, to trace people in Siberia, especially when they are in no position to send you their address. Do I make myself clear?
What do you expect me to do?
You have heard, I presume, of the celebrated Colonel Redlands.
I heard his name, yes.
He is by far the most dangerous intelligence officer operating against the Soviet Union. But just a week ago, a decision was reached to send Colonel Redlands to Prague. Were he to be successful in this mission, it might well disrupt our European intelligence operations at the most critical moment.
Are you seriously proposing that I act as a spy for you?
Oh, no. Merely as a woman. Nothing more. I should warn you that Colonel Redlands is no ordinary man. He is brilliant and resourceful. We have found but one serious weakness: women. We are not concerned with the lengths to which you go, mademoiselle. All we ask is that you make the colonel pay well for retaining your favor.
Your proposal is thoroughly degrading. Please get out.
As you wish. Oh, I shall forward pictures of your family to you in America. I'm sure you would be interested to see the change in them from time to time. My respects, mademoiselle.
Wait.
Colonel Redlands is entertaining some friends at the Double Eagle this evening. He will be most pleased, I am sure, were you to consent to dance for them. There will be time for you to meet him afterwards. I shall wait for you outside.
Peter, you are naughty.
Not at all, my dear. It's merely that since I'm about to leave London, I've no choice but to say to you in one evening all the things I might otherwise have taken weeks to propose.
It's just as well you're leaving. I can't understand why the government has tolerated as long as it has. Your thoroughly reprehensible behavior.
I say, Peter, isn't it time you gave us a little farewell speech?
A speech? Gladly, my friends, gladly. I always embrace the opportunity of taking the floor since it gives me a chance to expand on my favorite topic without threat of interference. The topic for tonight is, of course, Peter Redlands. Please, please. This should be an occasion of far greater sadness to you than it is to me. For after all, I'm shortly to leave you to the soul and earnestness of a belt-tightened England, while I shall be basking in the luxuries of some foreign pleasure place representing the glories of our great empire.
Monsieur, darn apologies. Oh, forgive me, I interrupt you, Colonel.
You most certainly do, Sir Gay. It's probably just as well, though. I noticed a certain apathy among my listeners.
Your indulgence, Colonel. I was attempting to arrange a rather special tribute to this farewell gathering.
Oh.
Forgive me?
Excuse me, Gerda.
All right, I'll dance with Blair.
I have brought with me the lady you spoke of so glowingly when you first arrived.
Pieravarene?
She has agreed to dance for you and your friends tonight.
You're a genius, Sabata. Where is she?
In my office. I thought you might wish to welcome her personally.
I should indeed.
I'm sure she would appreciate your doing so. Mademoiselle Vareni, may I present Colonel Peter Redlands?
Mademoiselle, I've admired you for a long time.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
It's a great honor to have you join us tonight.
It is your farewell evening, I understand, Colonel Redlands.
Yes, very nearly. I'm leaving London in about 10 days.
My stay is also ending very soon.
Ah, yes. I remember hearing you were about to take off on a tour of the United States.
The company's going, I'm not. I'm returning to Prague.
To Prague? Really?
My family's still in Czechoslovakia. It is very important for me to get them out if I possibly can.
I see, but doesn't that involve rather a serious risk for you?
It is time when all of us must face certain risks.
Yes. Well, did you happen to know that I also was on my way to Prague? You know, we're liable to be two very lonely people. Do you think we might help each other to dispel the pervading gloom?
That would entail a quite different form of risk, Colonel.
Risk? Why? I'm not the MVD.
You are a man.
Does that frighten you?
Yes, a little. I will be, as you have said, alone. It is very easy for a lonely woman to be less than wise.
Well, apparently you think I'm not to be trusted.
Are you?
Probably not. With someone like you, almost certainly not.
You can afford to be casual in such things, Colonel. I cannot. And now, if I am to dance for your friends, I think I should change my clothes.
Well, all I've got from this so far is that you prefer not to see me again in Prague.
I did not say that. I only said that it would be wiser for both of us if we did not meet. On the other hand, if two people are lonely enough,
I certainly shall be.
in that case, we shall both very likely be unwise.
Ah,
Where do I go to change?
the waiter will show you, mademoiselle. Ivan?
Thank you.
Well, she's a most unusual woman, isn't she?
Yes, I think we'll find a lot in common once we reach Prague.
I do not count on that, Colonel. She is not like the young ladies you are in the habit of meeting.
My guess is she'll be a thoroughly gracious and entertaining companion.
Well, I cannot alter your opinion, Colonel, but I shall warn the lady in advance.
You'll be stacking the cards against yourself if you do that.
Yeah, that we shall see. And now, if you would care to rejoin your guest, Colonel.
Yes, I think I will. Ah, excuse me.
Captain Rowan to see you, General Auckland.
Well, send him in.
Very good, sir.
General Auckland? Good morning, Captain. Come in, sit down. I'm not in the mood for the formalities today.
Thank you, sir.
Have you looked over this report from Prague?
Yes. You're apparently right in selecting Colonel Redlands for this assignment. In 1 month, he's given us more information than we've had out of Czechoslovakia in a year.
Yeah, quite. He's a brilliant intelligence officer. There's no doubt about that. But did you also notice the amount of funds he's drawn in this 1 month?
Expense item was very high. I assumed you expected it to be.
High? Yes, but £4,000 in 1 month? After all, Captain, we're living under a government whose watchword is austerity.
I realize that, sir. And yet, if Redlands can get us the kind of information he has so far, are we in any position to quibble about the methods he uses?
I know how to wink at Colonel Redland's irregularities. But this Vera Varanya business is an entirely different matter. From what I gather, she has no political ties whatever. She's in Prague solely to be with Colonel Redlands. I'm therefore issuing instructions at once today, placing the disposition of all our Eastern funds in the hands of Michael Lavery. He will report to you any request of Colonel Redlands in excess of £300 a week. I may as well warn you, there'll be repercussions.
I'm quite sure there will be.
Yeah, well, I shan't let you down, Captain. But after all, I cannot present a general accounting with a major column headed L'amour.
Colonel Redlands?
Yes. He does not care what he spends, does he? So many flowers like this, and flowers today will cost a fortune.
I do not like to be bought. What time did he say he would be here?
7. He has 5 minutes yet. You won't be late.
No. I almost wish he would... No, he's never late. Let him in, Marit.
Yes.
Vera Varheny,
What do you want?
I come from Guard Mastarek.
Let him in, Marit.
Come in.
That will be all, Marit. What is your name?
Jan Stoll.
You say Kirk Mastarek sent you?
Yes.
Why, it's dangerous for you to come here.
It's better than for you to go to him as you did last Thursday. You are watched everywhere. I have very little time. You want to get your family out?
Yes.
Have you heard from them?
They know I'm in Prague, that is all. Can I get to see them?
No. And don't write to them again either. Makes it only harder for us. They are marked because of you.
Yes, I know.
The price for each will be £2,000. Since there are 4 of them, it will be 8,000, and we give no guarantee.
8,000 pounds?
Papers are not easy to get.
I see. Well, I just had to try to raise it somehow.
It's up to you. Now, don't try to get in touch with me. From time to time, I will stop by and speak to the doorman. I'll ask him the time. And when you are ready, you tell him it's 6:15.
I understand. And if I'm not...
Who's that? I don't want to be seen here.
I'll have Marit let you out the back way. Marit, I'll open the door. Will you show this gentleman out the back way, please? 6:15.
That's right.
Good.
Hello.
Peter, you are late.
What can I say?
Oh, come in and tell me why you were late.
Oh, that's quite simple. I got into an argument with myself tonight about coming here. It took much longer than usual to convince myself I wasn't wasting my time.
And what arguments did you use?
The same old ones, but I'm afraid they're wearing a bit thin.
No? Your flowers are very beautiful, Peter.
Tediously beautiful, perhaps. You'd almost rather I'd forgotten them for once, wouldn't you?
I don't know. If they hadn't come, I should have been just as glad to see you.
And just as cold and just as elusive.
If all that were true, why should I have gone on seeing you?
Why have you?
Because I have no choice. Without you, I should be alone.
Is that supposed to bolster my tottering self-esteem?
You are not trying to pretend that one woman could deflate your confidence.
Oh, if that was your intention, you've done rather well.
You are angrier than you pretend, aren't you?
Possibly.
Why?
You know very well.
That is almost funny, Peter. Has no one ever resisted you so long before?
It's rather more than that, I'm afraid. I happen to have fallen in love with you.
Love?
You know very well I'm in love with you.
I know very well that you are not. I have come back here for one reason only, my family.
Sabatov drives a hard bargain, doesn't he?
Sabatov? I don't have an idea what you're talking about.
You know, it's not very easy for someone who's once escaped to get back again to Prague. Almost impossible without help.
I'm no longer a Czech. I'm traveling on a British passport.
I see. I didn't know that.
I've come to get my family out, nothing more. I'm ready to pay any price I must.
The cash value remains high, eh?
Yes.
How
Higher
much?
than either of us had imagined.
How much, eh?
8,000 pounds.
What?
I have less than 1,000 of my own.
And if I were to get this for you, what then?
I have said I would pay any price.
So it's like that, is it? A grim matter of business, nothing more.
No, Peter. No, you must know it would not be like that. You do know, don't you?
Yes, now I know. I'll have that 8,000 for you by tomorrow evening.
Oh, Peter, why did it have to be this way? Oh, why couldn't it have been any other way?
It's not a very good sort of a world we live in, my dear.
No. It's not a very good sort of a world.
Redlands came to you this morning for an advance of £8,000.
Oh, yes, sir. Of course, I explained that I'd had instructions from you that any such sum would need specific approval. Very put out, I'm afraid.
I'm not surprised. Tell me, did he give you any idea why he needed such a large amount of cash?
Oh, no, he was far too angry for that.
Yes, of course. Well, here's Redlands now. I think you'd better leave us, Bill. I think it'd be wiser if I spoke to Malone.
Yes, quite.
Good evening, Colonel Redlands.
Oh, hello, neighbour.
How are you, sir?
Very well, thank you.
Come in, I'm sitting over here. I hope you'll forgive my asking you to meet me here, but well, there aren't many places left in Prague where one can talk in comparative freedom today.
You scarcely need to explain the city to me, Lavery. I've been here before, you know.
Yes, of course. I understand you're rather upset about being refused a cash advance this morning.
Well, I've been with the service 15 years, and I've never had a cash withdrawal question before.
So I'm aware of that, Colonel. However, I'm under rigid instructions from London. We're not allowed to advance you more than £300 per week.
On whose orders?
The notification came through Captain Rowan, sir.
Captain Rowan? He's no more than a clerk. You realize, I suppose, that I work on assignment from General Auckland personally?
Yes, Colonel Redlands, I do. However, my instructions left me no room for discretion whatever.
And do you mean to say that I'm expected to justify every cash withdrawal I make?
According to my instructions, yes.
Well, I see nothing for it but for me to go to London and speak with General Auckland personally.
I should feel far more comfortable if you would, Colonel.
Can you get me a plane reservation for tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Good. I'm sorry, Lavery. I'm not blaming you personally. Please understand that.
Thank you. And now, may I order you a drink?
Is that still allowed on your drawing account?
Well, so far.
Then make it a vintage wine, please.
Right. Waiter.
Yes, go on. Redlands got into London last night. What's he been doing all day?
He spent 2 hours with General Auckland this afternoon.
Why?
From what I hear, his expense account has been severely limited, and he came back to London to enter a complaint.
And?
The General refused him. He walked along the embankment for an hour, hailed a taxi, and came here.
Well, I hadn't expected him to be forced to appeal to me quite so soon. But it's just as well.
You wish me to get out and let you speak with him?
Yes, ask him to come in. Yes, Major.
The Major will see you now, Colonel Redlands.
Well, Colonel Redlands, come in. Sit down.
Thank you.
Cigar?
No, thank you.
Cognac?
Not at the moment, thank you.
I envy you your month in Prague. It's a beautiful city. But for you, more than beautiful. You have conquered the heart of our little Czech dancer, eh?
No, as a matter of fact, I haven't, Sabatov.
Oh, delightful. My faith in womanhood is sustained. And you? You have only to enter a small item in your notoriously inexhaustible expense account.
Not entirely inexhaustible, Tabata.
Oh? But surely this causes you no great concern, Colonel. These temporary economies have occurred before. And you have always found ways to weather them.
Not always the ways I would choose, however.
May I mention the amount? Or would it embarrass you to say it?
No. My embarrassment stems from being here. I'd hoped that would never be necessary again.
Well, we have done business before, my dear Colonel. Have I ever failed to live up to my side of a bargain?
No.
Well, then, name your price, and I shall be glad to state my demands.
In cash, £20,000. And permanent freedom from you. My name is to be struck from your books, and you are never to call on me to work for you again.
Those are stiff terms, Colonel.
I've no doubt your demands will be equally high.
For the £20,000, the name of your resident agent in Warsaw. Oh, he's a friend of yours, huh? But after all, this is not the first time you have sold us information of this sort. The second, for your permanent freedom from me, let me see. That justifies a rather more important piece of information. Shall we say the military code? That's a fair bargain, I should think. I might even add another £10,000. Well, what have you to say? You will make up your mind before you leave this office, Colonel. This sort of meeting is too dangerous to repeat.
Very well. You'll have what you want.
Very sensible of you, Colonel. Payment as usual upon receipt. And to show my good faith, I shall make no effort to block the escape of Vera Vareni's family, nor to raise the price above £8,000.
So you know even that, do you?
Well, my dear Colonel, we set the price for all Black Boers operations in the satellite areas.
Naturally. You'll have the information you want by tomorrow evening.
Oh, we are in no hurry, Colonel. We are in no hurry. The Soviet Union is always prepared to wait.
Now that you've seen part one of Colonel Judas, let's turn to our Westinghouse program. Grandma's washing secret. Say, let's all get in on this.
Well then, watch closely. She's just finished that load of wash, and see, she's carefully taking the pieces out, one by one, lifting them away from the dirty wash water. Now, why did she lift them away from the dirty wash water like that instead of letting it drain through them? Because she knew that if she let that dirty water drain through the clothes, it would leave dirt in them. And that's exactly why the Westinghouse laundromat takes your clothes away from the dirty wash water instead of letting it drain through them as most washers do. Perhaps you never realized it, but most washers have a straight up and down tub like this. And when the washing action's over, the dirty wash water drains down through the clothes like that. The clothes settle at the bottom of the tub where they act as a filter for the dirty wash water. And it leaves dirt, lint, and soap curds all through them. But remember I told you that the laundromat lifts your clothes out of the dirty wash water? Well, let's see just how it does that. Here's a diagram of the laundromat's washing basket with its exclusive slant action. The clothes are thoroughly washed in this position. Then, when it's time for the water to drain out, the basket tilts back like this. The clothes are lifted and tumbled away from the water against the top of the dome, and the dirty wash water drains away from the clothes to the bottom of the basket. There's no filtering the dirt through the clothes. You know, it seems such wasted effort to me to wash all the dirt out of your clothes and then filter it right back through them again. But the Westinghouse laundromat gets dirt out and keeps dirt out of your clothes with the exclusive wash away, rinse away action. I honestly think that the laundromat is the finest automatic washer that you can possibly buy. But see for yourself. Take a load of your clothes to a Westinghouse dealer. He'll wash them for you in the laundromat, and you'll say, I never saw clothes come out so clean. Remember, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
And now let's return to Westinghouse Studio 1 and Colonel Judas.
You're back at last. What took you so long?
I've been gone less than half an hour.
Oh, did you find out anything?
No, they have had no word from the colonel either.
4 days. He said you'd be back on Thursday. Something must have happened.
You are anxious about him, then?
Yes, and about myself. I can't even go out of the house anymore. That man is always watching there now. Did anyone follow you?
No, I don't think so. You are getting awfully jumpy.
Oh, I expect I am.
Jan Stoll came by again today.
How do you know?
Dorman told me.
Oh, he'll think I've given up and he'll stop coming too.
Oh, it isn't as that bad yet. I go and get you something to eat.
Oh, no, I'm not hungry. Just...
Hello, Mary.
Redlands, he's here.
Oh, Peter. Oh, Peter. How did you get here? Oh, Murray just went around to your place and they said they hadn't heard from you.
They hadn't. They only got in 10 minutes ago.
Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, Murray, will you get us some sherry?
Yes.
Or would you rather have whiskey?
No, sherry will do, thanks.
Oh, some sherry, please.
Were you beginning to worry about me?
Yes, more than I'd like you to know.
It took longer than I expected to get what I wanted.
But you did get it.
Yes, I got it. It won't come through for a few days, though, but you'll have it before the end of the week.
Oh, Peter.
Oh. It's been as bad as that, has it?
Yes. And you are sure it's all right?
Yes, of course it is, darling. Things worked out better than I dared hope. It's liable to change a lot of things, though. For both of us, perhaps.
How?
Come on, we better have our sherry first.
Yes.
Where'd you like to have dinner tonight?
Oh, it doesn't matter. We could even have it here if you wanted.
Yes, I'd like that. Won't be too much trouble, will it, Mary?
Trouble? I should think not.
I'm so terribly grateful.
Come on, let's drink to being together again. Darling, I've never seen you looking more beautiful.
Everything shall be the way you want this evening, Peter. Peter, look at that sunset. There's no city in the world as beautiful as Prague at sunset. Isn't it strange? For 4 days I'd almost hated it. I didn't want to look out at it. Oh, it seemed to be pressing in on me and holding me prisoner. But now all of a sudden it's a blow again. Oh, look at those dark rooftops. And the old castle high up there on the rock, casting its shadow over half the town. Oh, it's a wonderful warm city again. Because you are here. Tell me that you felt the loss too without me.
Darling, that's partly the reason I took so long.
I didn't want this to be just another evening, an instant. I wanted to make it possible for this to last, to go on for a long, long time.
Would it ever, Peter? Is it very wise for us even to try to make it last?
Probably not. But wisdom doesn't come into it. It's something I can't help. I'm resigning from the service.
Resigning? But that's your whole career, Peter.
Yes, it has been for 15 years. And suddenly I don't want it anymore. It's become hollow and meaningless, a little degrading. I want to go away somewhere. To South America, perhaps. Vera, I want you to come with me.
You are serious, aren't you?
You know I am. You do believe me, don't you?
Yes, I believe you, Peter.
Then you'll come?
When all this is ended, yes, I'll come with you, Peter.
I can be patient.
Oh, perhaps I'm the one who's impatient now.
Come in.
You wanted to see me, Major?
Yes, I want you to do a little errand for me.
Yes?
I have in here an envelope containing a sum of money. I want you to deliver it.
To Colonel Peter Redlands, huh?
No, to Mademoiselle Vera Varini.
Vera Varini? But Redlands isn't to get the money?
Eventually. She will deliver it to him.
Oh. Colonel Redlands has given us everything he promised her, huh?
He completed his assignment? Yes.
He's useful.
He was useful. He is useful to us no longer. Nor is Mademoiselle Varini. I consider their liquidation not only desirable, but essential.
I see. This, then, is the real errand you want me to do, huh?
No. No, I see no reason for us to extend ourselves when there are those who might be more than willing to save us the trouble.
Who, Major?
The British.
The Brit...
After all, who has been most critically hurt by Colonel Redlands, they or us? Besides, it's more economical to have them take over.
It's perfect. And when shall I leave?
Tonight. I want this envelope, Mademoiselle Varini's hands by tomorrow evening.
That is all?
That is all.
Yes, Major.
Yes, Major Zabata?
I would like you to take a letter.
Oh, yes, sir.
You have a typewriter at home, I believe?
Yes, sir. It's in rather bad condition, I'm afraid.
So much the better. Use it. And buy some cheap stationery on the way home.
I understand. To whom is the letter going?
To British Intelligence Services. Attention, General Sir George Auckland.
Listen to this, Captain. Dear sir, you will know by the time this reaches you that William McLean, your resident agent in Warsaw, disappeared from his lodgings last Wednesday evening at 11:30 p.m. He was executed a few hours later. All this was made possible by the fact that one of your own people apprised the agents of the Soviet Union of Mr. McLean's name and address. The reward has not yet been paid. The transaction will take place at table number 4 in the Café Drobny, Prague, next Tuesday evening at a few minutes past 10 o'clock.
Unsigned.
Unsigned. What do you make of it?
Yes, yes.
Certainly.
It's rather curious. The letter is quite literate. The typing and the paper are very poor. They don't seem to go together.
No, but the facts are a little too accurate to ignore.
Someone's that well informed, he must be very close to the communist command.
Precisely. Now, my guess is that that was written with the full knowledge of the MVD, and probably with their approval.
Why?
Well, for some reason, they didn't want to get their hands dirty. They wanted this man done away with, but they wanted us to do it for them. In any case, we can't ignore it. We'll have to have someone at the Drobny on Tuesday evening.
I'll send word through to Lavery at once, he'll cover it.
It's not that simple, Captain. Whoever sold out evidently worked in Prague. Now, how do we know that that wasn't Lavery himself?
Are you serious?
Very. I see nothing but for you to go yourself. You can take Lavery to the Drobny if you wish, but don't give him a hint of what it's about.
Very well. I'll make arrangements to leave tonight, sir.
Good. And good luck, Captain.
Don't stop.
But it's almost 10 o'clock. You said you had to meet this man at 10.
No, I still have a few more minutes, darling. I'm tasting what our life will be like together. It's so peaceful, I don't want to disturb it.
Are you not at all frightened? These 3 days have been so very perfect. Can it go on? Or is there some terrible price we're going to be asked to pay?
Silly. You don't really believe one has to be punished for finding something beautiful in the world?
It's true, I suppose. I'm almost afraid of happiness. I've seen so little of it. It's as though it was some sacred treasure that no one was supposed to touch. Oh, thank you, dear, for teaching me not to be afraid of love.
Thank you for teaching me it can be more than just excitement. Come on, play a little more for me. I'll slip away. Perhaps when I come back, you'll still be here. It'll be as though I'd never left you.
How long will you be gone?
20 minutes, no more than that.
I'll try to be here when you get back. Marriott, you call? Get me my coat and hat quickly.
You are going out?
Yes, and I mustn't be late.
This one?
Oh, no, the raincoat and the beret, please. Dear, look at this now.
How long will you be gone?
Oh, only a few moments. And if Colonel Redlands gets back before I do, tell him that I just went out to get a breath of air. Good.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. This table is reserved.
Since when did you start reserving tables at the Dropnik?
Forgive me, Mr. Lavery, but your usual table is still free, gentlemen.
They must be making money all of a sudden. Perhaps we'll have to find a new spot for ourselves.
Can we be trusted?
No place can be trusted in this part of Europe. This is as good as any. Thank you, Paul.
Will you have, Michael?
That schnapps. It's the only decent thing you can get anymore.
I'll have a bottle of ale. Oh, one moment. What's the number of that table in the window?
Number steri.
Thank you. I thought I might like to reserve it myself sometime.
Tata Prada Tavares.
You're very taken with that table, aren't you?
It's what brought me to Prague.
Well, that's a good cryptic remark.
Yes?
Which table is number 4?
You're Mademoiselle Vareni?
Yes.
This way, please. May I bring you something, mademoiselle?
Oh, nothing, thanks. I'll wait.
You know who that is?
No.
Vera Verheyne.
Oh. Is Colonel Redlands still interested in her?
From all reports, more than ever. My guess is the next person you'll see sitting at that table will be Peter Redlands.
Be very interesting indeed. Because whoever appears at that table is supposed to be paid off for a rather dirty piece of spying.
What?
Colonel Redlands. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Paul. I'm meeting somebody here tonight. He said he'd be sitting at table number 4.
There is someone at table number 4, Colonel, but it's a lady.
Oh, really? So much the better.
Right over here, sir.
Thank you.
The gentleman has arrived, mademoiselle.
Yes, I see he has. Oh, come on, sit down, Peter.
What are you doing here?
In the Dropnik? Oh, I have been coming here for years. After you left, I felt I needed a breath of air, so I walked along for a moment, and then I saw the Dropnik, and I thought I'd drop in for a moment. You kept your date?
No, I'm meeting him here.
Here? Oh, not really. Oh, well, then I will be very much in the way, I'm afraid. Perhaps I should leave.
Yes, it might be better.
I'll go back to the apartment. You won't be long, will you?
No.
I haven't even had my drink yet, but it doesn't matter. We can have it later at home.
Yes, we can.
Well, I hope your date is on time.
He usually is.
But, darling, you seem so grim.
I'm sorry. I'll be in a better mood by the time I get back.
I hope so.
What do you make of that?
Nothing passed between them, that's certain.
Something went very wrong, I'd say.
Yes. Or did it? Yes, I think you're right. Something's very wrong. After all, it could scarcely be Peter Redlands.
Well, yes, I'd say scarcely Peter Redlands.
You're looking for is in my bag. You can take it whenever you want.
You are an agent for Sabatov, then?
I've been working for him, yes.
So that's all it's been? A trick to catch me?
Not entirely. Not willingly. What about you?
It's over. It's finished. This was my last job for them.
There have been others, though.
Yes, I've been working on and off for the last 10 years for them. But this is finished now.
Oh, well, he has not been an ally for a long, long time.
No, he hasn't.
Well, so this is where my £8,000 was to come from.
Yes, I had no other means of raising it.
Sabatov knew that, obviously. So this is how it ended. How did it start?
Ambition, I suppose. And a background I was ashamed of. I had no family and no money. And the other officers never let me forget that. They humiliated me again and again. I had to have money. That's what gave Sabatov the weapon he needed. He started advancing me, small amounts at first, and then gradually more and more. Finally, of course, he put the screws on me.
I see. And you kept on?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. It fascinated me as a game, I imagine. It was a whole new world, and I fell in love with it.
And what was your most recent assignment worth to them?
Oh, that was quite different. I'd met you by then.
Yes, I know.
I was buying two things, your family's freedom and my own.
Yours?
Oh, of course, that was part of the bargain.
Oh, the price he asked was high, I imagine.
Yes, very.
What?
Our military code. And the name of our agent in Warsaw.
You sold out one of your own friends. What will happen to him? He will be killed, won't he?
It may very well have happened already.
Oh, Peter, what made you do it? Oh.
You did.
Yes. I suppose so.
My perceptions are usually more acute. I let you convince me too easily. Sometimes they're cleverer than we expect.
Oh, they are disgusting and inhuman. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Take your money and go. Take your money and go, or do you want me to hand it to you?
Why not? Part of it's yours in any case.
Here.
There's only £8,000 here. There should be 30,000.
What?
Just what I promised you, not what they promised me. Oh, I know how Sabatov's mind works. I'm not expected to get to South America. I'm not even expected to leave Prague. Possibly I wasn't even expected to get out of the Café Drobny tonight. But fortunately, I've ways of getting back to England.
You are trying to return to England?
Yes, I'll have to leave tonight. Here, you better have this. You've earned it.
No.
Go on, take it. You can't think of yourself now. You've got the lives of 4 other people on your hands. Your soul won't be one bit cleaner by sending them to their deaths.
And you will never be able to return to Prague, of course.
Yes, I will. I'll find a way.
No, you will never, never, Peter.
Look, I've no intention of leaving you, ever. Can't you?
No, I don't want you to come back. I don't want to see you again. We are both too vile.
This is the end, then?
Yes.
Mademoiselle. Mademoiselle, what is it? What is it, mademoiselle?
Nothing. Peter Redlands is going back to England. But I was paid well. Look, Mary, 1,000 pounds. They pay you well for sending a man to his death, don't they?
Let's pause a moment, look at our program and Betty Finesse. Don't buy till you see these. I wonder what they are.
These are instruction books for different makes of refrigerators. Usually you don't get to see the book until the refrigerator is delivered to your house, but you could save yourself an awful lot of confusion and really know what you're buying if you look into this book before you buy. For instance, what does it mean to you when a refrigerator in its advertising claims no defrosting? Well, I know of 3 different refrigerators that make this claim, and yet the instruction book in one of them says frost does build up on the freezer. And in preparing to defrost it, the book advises you to remove frozen foods. Now, is that your idea of no defrosting? The second book advises you that when the frost gets thick, to scrape it off like that. Well, that isn't my idea of no defrosting. And the third book frankly says you can speed up defrosting by placing a pan of hot water in the freezer. Obviously, these refrigerators don't mean the same thing that Westinghouse means when it says no defrosting. Here is the Westinghouse Care and Use book, and it says the Westinghouse frost-free refrigerator completely eliminates the disagreeable task of defrosting. Now, that means that you don't ever have to take your frozen foods out of here because the frost-free defrosts itself so fast that your frozen foods stay safely, steadily frozen. And you don't have to scrape frost off here because the frost-free never even gives it a chance to build up. And as for putting pans of hot water in here, well, of course you never have to do that because the frost-free defrosts itself completely automatically. Just as the Westinghouse Care and Use book says, you have nothing to do and nothing to touch. Now, that's what Westinghouse means when it says no defrosting. So if you want the refrigerator that really gives you no defrosting at any time where you have to do absolutely nothing, just look for this magic counter button. It's the sign of the frost-free system. Yes, when you own the Westinghouse frost-free refrigerator, all the disagreeable chores of defrosting are gone forever. And I don't mean 1 chore or 2 chores or 3, but every defrosting chore. So own the only refrigerator that's truly and completely automatic. Remember, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
We return now to Westinghouse Studio 1 and Colonel Judas.
Bonsoir, Monsieur Dames. Bonsoir. Ah, I did not see you come in. I should have wished personally to have seated you, dear lady.
We sneaked in here very quietly, Sergei. It is no longer considered good form to be seen in a Russian haunt these days.
Russian, yes, but not Soviet, dear lady. Only the white blood of the Tsars flows in the double eagle. Forgive me.
Charming.
Your indulgence. I shall return at once to give you the personal attention of Zubatov. Well, how did things go in Prague?
Badly.
So what happened?
Nothing.
You mean the Redlands was not picked up?
No.
Nor Mademoiselle Vareni?
No.
Who bungled it?
Everything went according to schedule. But nothing passed between Peter Redlands and Vera Vareni. Naturally, the British were confused. Would have been hard for them to suspect Redlands in any case. Nothing happening, what were they to think?
This is very bad. What's happened to Redlands?
He took the same plane with me back to London. We arrived 40 minutes ago.
And where about any?
She's still in Prague. We have 2 men watching her.
There's nothing for it then. We shall have to take things into our own hands.
Colonel Redlands. Nice to see you
I'll call you if I need you. Colonel Redlands, come in, come in. And what brings you back to London, my dear Colonel?
£22,000, Sir Bartow.
I do not understand, Colonel. You were given the envelope I sent you?
Yes. Here's the letter that was in it. But there was only £8,000 there, not 30,000.
Where was it handed to you and by whom?
By your agent, Vera Vareni.
Where?
In her apartment.
Oh, then it's from her. You should ask the missing amount. It was intact when it left this...
I didn't come here to listen to you squirm, Sir Bartow. I came to collect £22,000.
The last time we met in this office, I held the upper hand. It now appears that you do, Colonel.
Are you ready to pay me the full amount?
I have no choice, have I? You will permit that I go to my safe?
Is it in this room?
But surely it's right there in that wall.
Go ahead, then.
So much for Colonel Judas. You will arrange to dispose of the body?
Yes, sir.
I will take care of Mademoiselle Vareni personally. I'll leave for Prague in the morning.
Yes, sir.
Your indulgence, dear lady, your indulgence. Zubatov is now at your service.
Oh, come here.
The doorman gave me your message. I came as soon as I could.
Thank you.
Are we alone?
Except for my maid, but she can be trusted completely. Here, I have the money right here.
It's too late, mademoiselle. We waited too long.
What has happened?
We got word less than an hour ago. I was on my way to warn you, and the doorman gave me your message.
What has happened to them?
They were taken away, that's all we know.
All four?
Yes. She must have done something to turn them against you. They don't waste time in such cases. It won't be long before they come for you.
What can I do?
I have the papers ready for your sister. You could use them.
And Marit?
Yes, probably.
When?
How soon could you be ready?
Oh, in less than an hour.
Do so then, and take as little as you can. I'll be back shortly.
Good. We'll be ready. Go back way. Marit will let you out. Marit, will you be quick? We must pack. Marit! Oh, Marit, will you take that, please? Yes. All right.
Yes?
Lady Vareni,
Who are you?
I come from your store.
Oh, yes. We are ready.
Take her with you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Marit. Marit, will you please pick...
Marit is not here, mademoiselle. You were planning to leave Prague tonight? That's seldom a wise move to make without requesting permission of the proper authorities. How much is Jan Stoll charging you? The usual £2,000? And Colonel Redlands, did you advise him to come to me to recover the rest of the money he was planning to spend on you?
I did not try to stop him.
That was unwise. It cost the colonel his life. Now you know far more than is well for you to know.
I know you are responsible for the murder of my family.
You are no longer to be trusted. You knew Colonel Redlands was returning to London, yet you gave me no warning whatever.
In that case, you expect me to give that £8,000 to you?
To begin with, yes. I am also here to repay an act of treachery to the Soviet Union.
Treachery? You dare speak of treachery? I know what you've done to this country, to millions of people all over the earth. Oh, I loathe and despise you and everything you represent. Oh, and the only shame I bear is that I let you threaten me into working for you.
Now you will hand over the money to me you were going to give to Jan Stoll.
Perhaps I should count it for you.
That's not necessary.
No. As last act of penance, I choose to count my blood money to the last drop. 1, 2, 3.
Come quickly.
And now here's Betty Furness to talk about your children's report cards.
Well, most children, if they're going to get the kind of marks their parents like to see, have to do some studying at night. Now, here's a boy whose studying is made easier and pleasanter by the Westinghouse fluorescent tube in the study lamp he's using. There's no glare, no shadows, and fluorescent lighting is so cool. Now, let's suppose that boy uses that lamp for, well, let's say an average of 3 hours a night through primary school, high school, and college. Well, look, there he is again. 14 years later, still using the same fluorescent lamp. Yes, under the conditions I've described, that tube can last him 14 years. That's a real remarkable achievement for Westinghouse engineering, isn't it? And here's another remarkable Westinghouse achievement. It's a Westinghouse first, the first completely successful fluorescent mercury lamp. And because it has the high efficiency and long life of mercury lamps, plus a pleasing gold and white light, it's now being used in factories all over the country. Westinghouse, in fact, is the only manufacturer that makes a complete line of fluorescent lamps. In this field, as in so many others, engineering and research have put Westinghouse far ahead of other manufacturers. No wonder we say, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
This is Paul Brenson saying goodnight for Westinghouse, makers of more than 40 million products for the American home. America needs engineers. If you're the parent of a high school student or a student yourself, talk to your school principal. He'll be glad to tell you about the opportunities in the engineering profession, a profession with a future. And now until next week, good night.